In this lecture, we will be studying everything you need to know about the world of chemistry. At this stage, that includes reinforcing some previous concepts as well as learning some new ones too. We already know that matter is made up of different atoms, but in the past, nobody had the slightest clue what the word atom meant. Greek philosophers thought that matter could be divided into smaller particles until it reaches a basic unit where it could not be divided any further. Democritus, a Greek philosopher, called these particles atoms. The word was derived from the Greek word atomos itself, which means indivisible. All these assumptions were concluded in theory, but nobody could prove it practically. There was no experimental evidence. However, in the late 17th century, a quantitative study on pure substances disclosed that some elements were composed of many different substances and that these elements can combine to form compounds, which can again be broken down into their constituent elements. Later, in 1808, an English school teacher, John Dalton, developed an interesting atomic theory. Do you know what he claimed? Well, he recognized the law of conservation of matter and stated that the existence of atoms can be explained through the law of definite proportion. He then proposed an atomic theory. The key statement of this theory was that matter is composed of atoms of different elements which differ in their properties. It was then concluded that an atom is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in a chemical reaction. For example, helium, neon, and other noble gases have atoms which exist independently. There are certain elements where atoms do not exist independently, like hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen, because they are chemically very reactive. What a valuable discovery at that point in time, isn't it? Later, a lot of modern research has also proved that an atom can be further divided into subatomic particles, which as we know are electrons, protons, hyperons, neutrino, antineutrino, and neutrons, etc. Do you know there are more than 100 such particles that exist within an atom? However, electron, proton, and neutron are considered the fundamental particles.